What is up, watch people? Welcome to another edition of Talking Timepieces with Tony. And today we're going to be talking about Rolex crashing, watch market crashing. I mean, who really gives a fuck if that's really? Let's roll the intro and we'll talk about it. All right. So I just basically said, who gives a fuck? Uh, First and foremost, the watch market is not crashing. You know, people, all these YouTubers are just flipping the fuck out. I mean, who really cares if it did? You know, I mean, the only people that really care are flippers. And do we care about flippers? No. Like Anthony Ferrari, what? Not Ferrari. What fucking timepiece gentleman? You know, all these guys that you know that made their money flipping watches and flipping watches. Those days are, I think, are coming to an end. You know what I mean? That the people that will still be around are the ones that did it prior to this whole COVID thing. Because flipping watches is like, it's a new thing, people would buy and sell watches. I mean, this has been going on for years and years and years and years, all the way, way, way back, buying and selling goods to almost the beginning of time. You know what I mean? But when it came to Rolex wait lists and basically flipping a watch for thousands more than what you pay for it, I think especially with like Rolex, those days are over for a lot of the flippers, and great, because I think it's bullshit that those guys get the watches and then they flip them and put them on the secondary market and whatever. Um, who else cares? People that got into watches for all the wrong reasons, you know, people who were able to get their Submariner and stash it away, as an investment. That's not what watches are for. You buy them and it's cool if you want to invest in watches. I guess it's not a good call, but that's a common known thing. Really what it is, and essentially, you know, if you now are a flipper trying to get into this, and you get your watch from an AD, and then you try to sell it on the secondary market, the secondary market, most of these companies that buy these watches they have too much stock, too much inventory. So you take your sub, your 124060, that 6 months ago you could have sold to them for $14,000, are now offering under $10,000. Keep in mind, you lucky enough to get one of these at the AD, like I did, you're paying just under $10,000 with tax in the state of California, because California has high tax. So now you get your watch, and then you think you're going to flip it, and then don't get the price that you thought you were going to get. So now you might make a little bit of money, but that's about it. If you want to sell your watch privately, it's risky. It's real risky to do it that way, man. Too many scammers. I wouldn't want to do it. Not for a high end watch anyway. I've done it with plenty of lower dollar watches. I don't mind, but so who really cares? And besides, when you look at, like, say, Chrono 24, you're looking at these subs now. We're going for $17,000-$18,000. They're primarily now in the high 12s, low to mid 13s. You'll see, those ads where they're still at $15,000 or $16,000, and I believe that those are, the dealers that just paid too high on the secondary market, and they if they sell it now, they just have to take a loss, because right now no one's paying $15,000-$16,000 for a no date sub. You know, as far as now, keep in mind, does that mean it's crashing? No, I mean, keep in mind, if you spent $10,000 on your sub and you see it on Chrono 24 for 13, mid 13, and you try to sell it to a dealer, they're not going to offer you that. they still need to make a profit, right? So you'd be lucky to make, to get 10 grand for it, maybe 11. Whoa, excuse me. Um, you look at the Patek Philippe 5711. Those watches would, the general 5711 steel, were they 50 grand brand new? Well, they're discontinued now, but, they're still on the secondary market for over $100,000, So is that crashing? No, it's just the market's coming down. It's just coming down. That's all it is. So what? It's a good time now to buy a watch. If you don't want to wait on that waiting list, then go out and buy it now. Because now is your chance, Will it keep coming down? Keep waiting and finding out. You know what I mean? If you're one of those guys that says, oh, I'm just gonna wait. I have a feeling it's gonna drop even more. You get my Submariner for $6,000. Yeah, for a new one. Yeah, ain't gonna happen, bro. So just like I say, right now is probably a good time to buy if you don't want to wait in that waiting list. Pretty soon, Rolex are gonna be back on the display cases, not the exhibition models. They're gonna be there. I don't think too far in the future either. You're not going to get a Daytona. That's just one of those things that's always been I say always, 2017, the Paul Newman one that sold for however many millions that went for is also what caused a big thing. The Daytonas have always been difficult to get. Some people that get them are very fortunate. But, again, not that long ago, and I've said this before, back in 2018 when I bought my Datejust at Bindi, there was a plethora of watches. Go back and watch one of my videos. You'll see where I bought my watch in 2018, that one, particular one. Subs were available. OPs, Datejusts, Sky Dwellers, Milgauss, they were all Yacht Masters, GMTs. They were on the display cases, man. You could buy them, So, again, I think it's not going to be too long before you start seeing them back on the shelf or back in the display cases of the ADs, because again, what goes up must come down, It can't last forever. It's just that simple, I mean, the economy's super fucked, but will everything come down even more? Yeah, I mean, possibly. But again, when you're looking at a lot of watches, that you can still buy, Rolex is the only one, Patek, of course, AP, but I say my little circle. I don't care about APs. Never wanted one, don't want one now. Probably never will. But again, I guess that's all I had to say. It's almost like a little rant, but at the same time, it's like all of these fucking YouTube people are just, oh my God. Fuck, really, if that's all you got to worry about, man, life's pretty good for you then, huh? You got, whatever. I could go on about some of these guys, but just the real bottom line is just buy your watch, wear it, love it. Who really gives a fuck anyway? Knowing, like I have said this before too, no one in my circle cares what kind of watch I have. If I had a Timex, they wouldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? And just like me with them, I don't hang out with anybody. I don't hang out with anybody who likes watches. Even my neighbor, he's like the only person that I know that loves watches, but he's a watch snob, So if it's not Rolex, Cartier, Panerai, or Audemars, then whatever you have sucks in comparison. He's kind of a dick, actually. So I don't want to fucking hang out with that. You know what I mean? So I never really talk to him. I mean, I say hi, cordial, hi, how you doing, man? But that's it. So again, buy the watch because you love it, because you want to wear it. Don't give a shit what anyone else thinks or says. Just do you, man. That's what we're all here on this planet for, is do you. Just be cool. Live your life. Enjoy it. All right. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to. I appreciate that. Have a great one.